Okay, so we're starting the video of the interview. Today is April 27th, 2023. So the first question is, what is your first name?
My name is Shania Rail.
And the second question is, running your business running your business harder than you thought it would be?
I would say so, yes.
If so, why?
Well, the daily operation of running a business um, can be very challenging at times. I think having adequate enough staff um, is what makes it more challenging.
Second question, would you buy into the same sort of business again?
Absolutely.
Okay. How difficult is it to keep a good staff?
How difficult it, I'm sorry.
Yes, how difficult is it to keep a good staff?
Well, I've been in business for over a year, and I have two particular staff members that have been with me from day one. They are very reliable, but after that, it's been quite a roller coaster to just keep people in a sense for whichever reason. Um,
Okay. How long will you stay in this business?
until I'm no longer able to serve, I guess.
Okay, what are your business's four highest expenses?
For highest expenses is maintenance, gas, and I gotta pay people every week. And you said four?
Yes, would that be it?
I would say three.
Okay. What kind of advertising do you use to promote your business?
Well, I've didn't do much advertisement. I it's mainly like word of mouth and yeah, basically word of mouth.
Okay. What sort of training did you have before going into this business?
Well, actually, not really much training per se. Um, I've worked around the type of population that I work around for some years. So I basically wanted to kind of venture out, um, venture out. Pardon me,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How do you find individuals to build into your organization that genuinely care about the organization the way you do?
Pardon me, repeat that.
I'm sorry. How do you find individuals who bring into your organization that generally care about the organization the way that you do?
Well, as far as workers,
Mhm.
well, I kind of like put, the word is out there. I've been so blessed that people have come to me and say, by word of mouth, I know someone that will be good fit for the company. That would be a great help. And like I said, it's been um, two or three people that has been really have stuck by my side, and they have just as much compassion as I do, and they just have a heart. I mean, it's just golden. I can't ask for a much better people to help me along this journey.
If you don't mind, can you shout those people out?
Um, their names.
Yeah. Their first
Okay.
names.
The first name, we have one that is Trina, Miss Trina. We have one Miss Lakeisha, and we have a male. His name is Mr. Max.
What makes them special?
Well, let's see. Mr. Max, he's bilingual, and he also had comes from a background with dealing with special needs population. So, with that being said, he has had transportation experience for years, and he has several years of training with this population as well. So what makes him special is that he just have a lot of patience.
Okay, so that's one of your
Yeah,
best workers.
I
Best
mean,
workers.
well, I can't say best worker, but they all are great. Each one serves their purposes, and each one, I believe, are just excellent workers.
Okay, what would you do differently if you had the chance to start your career over again?
Differently, I believe I would. Let's see, maybe more capital funds. I would say. Yeah, I think I would have saved up more capital funds. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, what is capital funds?
Capital funds, like, I mean, capital funds would be just more value in money. Um, let's see, if I saved or had like a nest fund of like $50,000 for my business, and then I can start out with 50,000, 100,000. That's my capital money, to where I'm not digging into, my saving, other extra savings. So therefore, if I start, with a higher capital money, I can kind of like, dig in from that and get things that I need for the business.
How much did you start out with
Honestly, well,
without your savings?
without savings,
Yeah.
well, I had $385 in my
Oh,
account, and it was like a leap of faith that I took this journey. I initially went with this company that will help you get your like EIN number and your EIN number and
LLC.
yeah, LLC and everything going. And when the guy, actually it was like an advertisement, and they was saying it was like $99 or something. Um, but when I called and explained what type of business that I was doing, they actually said it was like $329, and I'm like, that's shy of like basically what I have. So I pretty much submitted that, and within like a week or two, they sent me like a hard binder with a sealed with my business logo on it. All my paperwork, everything was legit from the state. Um, Nice, it was just, everything was just like legit. So I'm glad that I went that route, because they kind of held my hand along the way. If I needed like how to get started with a bank, or um, different laws or different things from the state, they just helped me with all of those avenues. So it was a big help. I mean, it was worth the 300 and something dollars, and then that's basically it. And it's just like from there, I was just blessed with vehicles to provide the transportation.
What have been some of your failures and what have you learned from them?
My failures have been, I think prioritizing for the most part, and just like delegating. Yeah, delegating. As far as with the business, so with starting this business and then you start out on your own, it's kind of hard to do everything on your own. So you're kind of the accountant, you're um, the what you call it, receptionist, the employee. I mean, it's just so many different things. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, how many hours do you work on a day average?
In a day's average, about 10 hours.
Oh, wow. I don't know if it'll be too late to say because I really forgot to say in the beginning. But what is your business? Can you
My
explain?
business is a transportation company where we transport special needs children, and we take them to clinical sites, after school programs. That's basically it.
Describe an outline of your day.
Well, I get up in the morning and
What time do you get in the morning?
I get up around, well, actually, I get up like 5:30 because I have like prayer at 6. And then I get my son ready. And then after that, I head out the door to start my day to transport.
How has being an entrepreneur affected your family life?
Well, I wouldn't say affected in a bad way. I think that balancing is kind of what affects it for the most part. Um, it gives you more time with the family, but at the same time, I have to run a business, so I would be gone long hours at a time. Um, but it's the same as when I was working a regular job where I was working night shift, 12 hours, and left me extremely tired because if I'm not working at night, I'm sleeping during the day. So now it's more beneficial because I'm able to be home more, um, and be do things like on the weekends with my family. Um, so that's basically it.
So, describe your 9 to 5. Well, it wasn't technically a 9 to 5.
Well, mine technically was a 9 to 5, but it was 12 hour shifts, and I worked overnight, so that I basically um, worked in a surgical environment where was doing surgery with doctors. I did that for like 20 years. Um, so I mean, I stood on my feet a lot, so I did have a lot of like foot issues and back issues for standing. But it was a very rewarding career. Um, but at some point, I felt as though that it was just time to venture out and do what my heart truly desired.
How do you build a thriving customer base?
Well, I build a thriving customer base by I always stay in communication with my clients, parents, um, and kind of build like relationships with them in a sense. And then it we just don't do just transportation, but we are very involved with our children. I consider all of them my children as well too, but we very involved with them. So I think we're more hands on. It's just not like a drop and go. It's more so um, you may have. I'm just going to give a just a brief synopsis of a day of one child that is nonverbal that is very combative, or very agitated, but they cannot communicate what they are experiencing or what they're feeling or things like that. So with us, I have one little guy. Um, he's about 5. He loves to have like fidget things in his hand, flopping things all over the place. So I got him like a little monkey that teddy bear monkey that he like stretches and pulls, and that's his little um, I can't even say what it is, but it's like it's soothing for him. So I kind of like I bonded with him because that's just a way of his communication. That's in when once he does get in the van, that's the first thing he looks for, his little monkey. So that's specifically for him. Not all of the children are the same, because it is a broad spectrum. So specifically, each individual, I deal with them accordingly, the way they, basically the way they are
Who has been your greatest inspiration?
for business or
Just in general.
um. Well, it's my mentor. His name is Treve. He also has a company similar to mine. He's like really out there, and he's up in the RIDU area. And he basically him and his wife started out with just one van, and they are like massive right now. So he has been a great inspiration as far as his journey.
What is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
The favorite aspect of it is just being your own boss and being able to kind of vacation when you want to, um, being able to be flexible with your hours, being able to get off work when you want to. Um, so yeah, that's it.
What has been your most satisfying moment in business?
Most satisfying, just to be a service to others, and that's why I get I'm most grateful for just being a service to the community, um, and the population that we do serve. Um, it's not saying it's not common, but I think that the service that we do provide um, is uncommon in a sense the way we operate. So yeah.
What do you feel is the significant difference between entrepreneur and someone who works for someone else?
Oh, it's a big significance because um, the entrepreneur basically, you're building wealth for or building legacy for your family, um, and the biggest yeah, big building legacy for your family versus I'm going to a regular 9 to 5 day every day and helping build their legacy versus I can build my own legacy for my family and my children and my children's children. So where I am the first entrepreneur in my family, and since then I've had my like close relatives that have starting or they're inspired to start their business because of the legacy I've already started with my own family per se.
What are your
Yes,
hobbies that you do outside your non-work time?
travel. My hobbies is traveling. Hmm.
What sacrifices had you had to make to be a successful, or where you are right now, successful entrepreneur?
Well, the sacrifice I had to make is I had to make a big decision after a year of working. Not a year. After a year of in year and a half, 2 years in business, I had to make a sacrifice whether to leave my regular 9 to 5 job, and which is has been a service for about 20 years. That was the biggest sacrifice that I had to do. Do I continue to work 12 hours every night or 4 nights a week and be extremely tired and not be effective in my business, or or just go full force into my business? And that's what the biggest sacrifice has been.
When you were working when you were working the 12-hour shifts, um, were you also doing the business as well? Like, were you starting it up, or
Yes, I
how did it come
was.
about?
I was working 12s and then getting off work, which I should have been sleeping, but getting off work and then going into my business job. So I was actually just working around the clock, tirelessly, but for some, I don't even know where I got the strength from. But I worked 12 hours at night, get home in the morning, get my son dressed, get him out to school, and then I start transporting for the next 8 hours, um, and then just do it all over again.
How did you find the employees that you have now?
Well, with the employees, each one was basically word of mouth. Someone say, "I know someone that would be a good fit for your company," and the guy that I was talking about, he actually worked for the facility that I transport for, and he was actually like assistant for them in a vehicle with me for his one of his children. So he rode with me for about 2 weeks, and he was like, "Man, like this is pretty cool. I really like to do this." And I'm like, that's kind of like a touch and go situation because I didn't really want to seem like I was taking their employee from them.
What do you look for when building a team?
Well, I look for uh, a person with good work ethic skills. I look for hardworking people. I look for passionate people. I look for people that have maybe had some experience in some sort with children.
All right. What makes an effective leader?
Effective leader is one who um, not only is able to lead, but is able to be taught. So
Do you consider yourself as a leader?
I consider myself as a leader. Yes.
Let's see. What has been your biggest aha moment?
Um, what my biggest aha moment is when I realized that I am making a difference in someone else's life.
After changing your career choice, what has been the changes? After changing your career choice, what have been the changes in your life?
The career choice, just more hard work. Um, being an entrepreneur is hard work. It's a lot of dedication, a lot of just effort, and what you put into something, that's what you would get out. So I think just as much as I was diligently working 9 to 5 and putting my all into that, I keep the same momentum with as being an entrepreneur as well.
How did you come up with the name for your company?
Well, about 20 years ago, I was in business school, and actually through prayer and just in a room full of entrepreneurs then, or like business-minded people, I heard the words um, Rehoboth, and actually I wrote out my business plan 20 years ago, and I'm just now getting to it. So
How did you raise funding for your venture?
funding per se, well, I it's basically what I've saved or what I had. I didn't have much, so it just, it's kind of not the right way to do things, but I didn't want to take any loans, or kind of like don't want to take any loans at the moment. So I basically use what I have, and I've been blessed to have taken off rapidly when starting the business. So it kind of like maintains itself.
Why did you want to start this business?
Well, first, I do have a child that's on a spectrum as well. And I remember the location that I am affiliated with. They was talking about, well, we was just talking, having a meeting one day with one of the owners, and they was like, man, I sure wish that we had transportation for our company. And it's like something went off in my head, like just the thought of what I was inspired to do 20 years ago. I was like, wow, this would be an opportune time, but I don't have the resources. I don't know. I don't have the know-how really too much. I just know that I did write a plan out, but over the years kind of got discouraged because I didn't know how to fully execute that plan, or didn't have the funding to do so. So with that being said, it just, once I took that leap of faith with talking to them, and I just actually told them that I have started the business already, and I'll be up and running within like 2-3 months or what have you. And they actually waited until I got all my paperwork and everything in place, and I've been with them ever since.
Do you kind of expand it from them, or like
Oh, absolutely.
branching out?
I plan to expand. Oh, I am expanding. Actually, have another site which is like 2 or 3 hours away from here, and just trying to be, just get out there.
Where do you see yourself in your business in 10 to 20 years?
Well, in 10 to 20 years, prayerfully, maybe one of my children or children would take over. But I do see myself just be more kind of like laying back and allowing um, my children's children, per se, grandchildren, um, to carry the legacy.
What would be your advice if you gave someone if they um, started the business that you were in?
Advice would be definitely have a plan. Just don't like really just jump out there. And although I did have like a plan in a sense, it didn't kind of go according to the plan. Things which I did right like 20 years ago, but things have changed. Different systems of things. Um, and I think that if I had more, if I have more, let's see, I'm just going to say a bookkeeping per se. Um, it has someone to like just do bookkeeping or a person just to do the transportation routes and things like that. So basically now it's just like I'm doing, my hands are in 5 different pots. And yeah,
Right. And how can you prevent the mistakes that you had done previously?
plan accordingly. I think planning um, makes a big difference. I think that mapping out a strategy and certain things sometimes don't always go according to plan. So I think that mapping out strategies, planning things accordingly, researching, reading, speaking to people um, makes a big difference.
If you can do any other business, what would you do?
Any other business?
Yes.
Um, well, just the extension to what I'm doing. As far as like on the medical side, being that I have been in the medical field over 20 years, just the extension of my business on a medical scale, hiring through the agency, um, employees, hiring staff to go out into the like hospital, nursing homes, um, and just keep it on the medical side. That's basically it.
Okay. What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? To see other people happy.
And what do you usually charge for each client that you have?
Well, it varies because you have, let's see, Johnny may live 4 miles up the road. His price may be, I don't know, $15. Depends. And then you have someone that lives 20 miles away. So I think I'm not outrageous. I believe I'm not outrageous. There are prices that I did see my other like counterparts, different drivers or different people out there and have like checked their prices, and their prices are probably more than what I'm charging. I do think a little bit I'm probably underrated, but I am building, so therefore I don't want to be like outrageous with my prices. So I believe that it's fair market for the most part.
Another question. If you were interviewing, let's see, conducting this interview, what question would you ask?
If I was conducting an interview,
Yeah, if you
well,
were.
first I would ask, tell me a little bit about yourself. I will also ask, how did you come about? What makes you an entrepreneur? I would ask, what is an entrepreneur? I would ask, how do you maintain volume of customers? I mean, questions like that.
Okay. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a mother. No, am I a mother? Yes, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 4 children, and I have 2 adults. No, I actually have 3 adult children and one small child, ages ranging from 28, 25, 19, and 8. And I'm also a grandmother. of 3. I have grandchildren ages 4, 5, and 6, and I'm also a wife.
Okay. All right, I think that's is about it. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure in conducting this interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.